First, thank you, seriously, for your question, your honesty, and for being open to learning. You're leading with curiosity and care, which is basically the antidote to bigotry. So gold star for you. Gender fluid people experience their gender identity as something that is constantly shifting. Some days they might feel more masculine, other days more feminine, some days neither. It's not indecision or attention seeking. It's truth, their truth, and it needs to be respected. Think of it this way. Just like your emotions can shift from day to day, so can someone's sense of gender. For some people, man or woman is too narrow. It's like trying to fit an ocean into a juice box. And honestly, the binary is so last century. Gender fluidity is deeply personal, and it can mean different things to different people. Two people can both identify as gender fluid and have it mean completely different things. Neither is wrong, both are acceptable, because it's about how you identify yourself. For instance, I identify my sex as male, and I use he, him pronouns for simplicity, but my gender is fluid. Now that might seem contradictory to some people, but it isn't to me. Male is my anchor. It fits me, but it doesn't tell the whole story of who I am. My gender shifts from day to day. Some days I'm steeped in masculine energy, or as masculine as I can be. I grow facial hair, I wear flannel, I grill on the barbecue, I grunt at objects, and I wield tools I cannot pronounce around the house fixing things that don't need to be fixed. Other days I reach for lace and glitter and sequins, feeling softer, queerer, more feminine. But most days, I'm untethered entirely, just existing outside the binary as my fabulous in-between self. Now, that's not confusion. That's just me living in a body and identity that refuses to stay in one lane. I honestly believe that most people are gender fluid. They just don't know it. Society didn't give us the language or the freedom to see it. We were shoved onto Team Blue or Team Pink before we could even walk, and then told never to switch jerseys. So we grew up policing each other and ourselves without even knowing it. We see it in children all the time. A boy who's gentle or emotionally expressive gets called a sissy. A girl who's bold or tough and tumble is a tomboy. These aren't just playground labels, they're early attempts to force kids into a binary box. But what if a boy isn't just soft? What if a girl isn't just tough? What if they're both, or neither, or something in between? Gender fluidity doesn't start in adulthood. It starts in childhood, when kids show us who they are before we teach them who they're supposed to be. But just watch people shift. Notice how they move differently at work, at home, or out with friends. Watch dads with their daughters. The most masculine men soften their voices, become tender, silly, gentle. They sit cross-legged at tiny tables for tea parties, with their pinkies up clutching tiny cups. They hold out their hands for nail polish without blinking. Watch women in boardrooms. Their postures straighten, their voices firm up, sometimes even drop an octave. Not because they've changed who they are, but because the world demands a different version of them to be seen and heard. That's not random. It's gender in motion. It's people adapting, shifting, stepping outside the rigid box of their assigned gender to survive, to express, to connect. That's fluidity, whether we call it that or not. The truth is, we've been conditioned to think gender and sex are the same thing, but they're not. Gender is a social construct. It's shaped by culture and generation. But because we were taught to treat sex and gender as identical twins, anything outside the binary gets written off as fringe, like it only applies to queer people. But reality is, it just shows up more visibly in our communities because we've done the work. We've questioned, explored, and actually taken the time to name the stuff that most people were taught to ignore. And that's why conversations like this matter. Because once you start seeing how flexible gender really is, you realize we've all been dancing across the gender spectrum for years. We just didn't have the words. If you're curious and want to learn more but feel overwhelmed, no worries. I dropped some solid resources in the video description, so check them out, take your time, ask weird questions. It's okay. Explore, unpack, reflect, and always remember, gender is weird. but so are most beautiful things.